All right, you may have some people that are saying, listen, Strobel, what you're saying is it really sounds attractive, but boy, I just can't believe this thing. If I believe this thing, I got to change my life. And I mean, what would it be like to invite Christ into my life and become a Christian?
Yeah, you know what? If it is true, and that Jesus is who we claim to be, and God exists, and He wants us to have a relationship with Him, He created us, then He knows the best way for us to live. And I have lived my life apart from Christ. And I know what that's like. And I know my efforts through all sorts of immorality to try to find pleasure and joy and fulfillment in life. And I want to tell you something, John. It was empty. It was folly. And I know now what it's like to follow Jesus Christ. And it is the adventure of a lifetime. It is the adventure of a lifetime. And I think of my friend, Evel Knievel, who in his twilight of his life, because he's dying now, doesn't have too much long to live. In the twilight of his life, he received Jesus Christ, and he's forgiven from a lifetime of promiscuity and drunkenness and immorality. And he's so full of thanksgiving and joy because of this. But he tells me, Lee, all those years, I wish I'd lived it differently. And he's at the end of his life, and it's too late. My father-in-law, an atheist, his entire life, till age 89, came to Christ in the last cogent conversation of his life before he died. And my first reaction is, thank God that His grace is big enough to forgive even that. But what a waste. He could have known the adventure of following Jesus his entire life. He could have known what it was like to have a personal relationship with the God of the universe. I tell people, you don't want to miss this. This is what life is about.
Okay, some people are saying, right now, Strobel, I believe it, but it's more than just believing it, because the train's leaving the station here for you folks, and you're still sitting on the sideline. Yeah. There was a spot where you not only believed it, but you realized you had to act on it. What did that mean? How did you invite Christ to come into your life and have this personal relationship with Christ? How did you start it?
Yeah. John 1:12 is the verse that I remember somebody pointed out. But as many as received Him, to them He gave the right to become children of God, even to those who believed in His name. And to me, that kind of formed an equation of what it means to become a child of God. Believe plus receive equals become. So I say, I do believe, based on this evidence. How can you not believe? If you're open-minded, where does it take you? It takes you to the inevitable conclusion, Jesus proved He's the Son of God by returning from the dead. But that's not enough. The Bible says demons believe and they tremble. It's not enough just to be in general agreement with Christian doctrine. It's not enough, as you say, to sit on the sidelines and just kind of nod your head and say, yeah, I think he's right, I think he's right. Wait a minute. At some point, it's believe plus receive. There needs to be a moment in time where you receive what Jesus did on the cross as applied to your life. He died as our substitute to pay for all of the wrongdoing we've committed so that He can offer forgiveness as a free gift that we can receive, that we can be, quote-unquote, born again. We can receive Christ. We can know Him personally the rest of our lives. And then when we die, we go into eternity and know Him forever in a place called heaven. That is reality. And I just think of my daughter who knew, all she knew the first 5 years of her life was a dad who was drunk and angry and swearing and kicking holes in walls. And then who saw how God changed my life and how she has now been transformed herself. And John, if I'd only brought her here and have her sit in this chair and look, especially the dads out there, and say, what is it about this offer of God that you don't want? What is it about being forgiven of all of your sin, past, present, and future? What is it about having a relationship with the God of the universe? What is it about spending eternity in a perfect state with Him called heaven? What is it about this free offer you don't want? I think she would say, do it for yourself. Do it for your family. Do it for your family. Do it for your spouse. Do it for your